be ready for failure, because nobody is ready for failure. So failure is something which inspires you to do better, and success is just one day. If you talk to any good players, 90% times they have failed, so they live for just that 10%, and because they don't give up, they get those 10%. So everybody has to keep doing that and looking forward to do that.
Hello and welcome to the Dreamcatchers show, brought to you by Vatan Se, where we capture inspiring stories one dream at a time. Hosted by yours truly, Sharma Motial. Associate sponsor, Singh Advisor, Satvik Certification Singapore, Fashion Partners, Kosha Sarees, Media Partners, Crazy Talk. And since we promised you different personalities, different inspirational stories, today with us on the couch, we have a cricketer turned entrepreneur. Yes, you heard that right. So let me tell you, we have Chetan Suryawanshi, who's a cricketer turned entrepreneur serving the sports community across Singapore, Japan, USA, India, and Bangladesh. Leading a team of more than 100 team members to create a foundation for specialized training in cricket. Active professional in the sports industry for more than 20 years, having experienced captaining Singapore national team for cricket. I promised you great personalities, didn't I? Holding a world record and receiving 40 plus awards in key international tournaments. Please help me welcome Chetan Suryawanshi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great being here.
Lovely. So let's start with what's your background? How come cricket? And was there opposition from family? So 3 questions rolled in one.
So basically, I come from Pune, and my father is from a town called Satara, which is closer to Pune.
Okay.
He was in army before, so I was born in Pune, born and brought up there. So I was in a military school.
Right.
And we had cricket there. So from there, the journey started. Obviously, my dad was a big fan of Vivian Richards.
Okay.
So he used to say that you should play cricket from start. So he got me enrolled when I was in 3rd standard in the school.
That early?
And from there, it was never looking back. He said, "You are going to play cricket. It takes whatever."
So that was more his passion, and were you aligned to it?
No, actually, cricket was played everywhere on the street, and he saw me playing. He said, "If you love this game, you should pursue it more."
Right.
And obviously, his fitness regime from the army came through.
Right.
And I had to get up at 4 o'clock from 3rd standard, so that helped my game a lot. Yeah.
So you had passion for it right from the word get go. 3rd standard means how old were you?
About 8-9 years.
8-9. Oh, lovely. And how's the cricket scene in Singapore? You have a company called Crick Kingdom. You're the CEO of that, right? So how did that come about?
So I was hired by Sports Singapore, Sports SG, under Foreign Talent Scheme in 2003.
Okay.
So their aim was to promote cricket in Singapore and play World Cup probably in 2011. So they had taken couple of guys from India, from Sri Lanka, and Australia as well.
Okay.
So the idea was that we all train the kids here and then get ourselves qualified to play for the nation.
Oh, wow.
So I came through that, and obviously the cricket scene was not that great in Singapore. Our obviously assignments used to be to go to schools. We were just 17 and a half and 18 years old when we came here. Nobody understood cricket, and it was absolute challenge teaching some of the locals how to play cricket. So from there we started. Obviously we went into about 6 schools then.
Okay.
And Singapore had about 8 to 9 clubs roughly. So now there are about 30 plus schools which are playing cricket, and more than 100 clubs which are playing cricket in Singapore.
Wow, this is since 2011 you're saying?
Since 2003.
2003.
Yes.
Wow. So what changed from you being a cricketer to you being then an entrepreneur, of course, in the field of cricket only?
So obviously, other than cricket, there was nothing in mind, frankly. And then
Right.
when I came to Singapore, it was a different world. The thought process was different. People want to excel. Got inspired from them, and then I thought somewhere down the line I should do for this sport.
Right.
Not just cricket, for a sport in general, that you need to have an ecosystem where people are easily able to find coaches, people are easily able to find good facilities. So
Right.
which was not there when I played in India or when I came here in Singapore as well. So that brought together, and I thought I should start with a platform somewhere. So we started a software company to start with.
Okay.
That can get everybody on one platform.
Okay.
But having realized that, obviously, when you start a software company, you realize that, okay, it's going to be viral immediately and everybody is going to download it. So, first 6 months, nothing happened. Then I realized that if I really have to get the community, I must go to the community. So that's when the academy idea came. The Cricket Academy was the first one. So where you get facilities, where you get coaches, where you get parents, everybody is there, where you get adults who want to play the sport. So that's the first step we took.
Right.
And obviously that business started taking over quite well. And we are now in 4 countries. Next month we'll be starting in a couple of more countries.
So how was this switch from being a cricketer yourself to then training other people to be cricketers? So one is about catching your dreams and the other one's about catching other people's dreams.
So actually, coach, I was always a coach.
Okay.
I was dragged into being a coach
Okay.
in Singapore. But after that, I started enjoying as a coach. So I did my level 1, level 2 and level 3. So level 3 is probably the highest part, like a postgraduate in coaching.
Okay.
And probably there are about only 100 or 110 people in the world who are level 3 coaches.
Fantastic.
So getting to coaching was, I feel, not difficult, but getting the coaches to coach was difficult. So
Okay.
that was the real business which we wanted to do, to get the coaches to find this as profession and make it their full-time job. So
Right.
that's where we started. So it was not an easy journey. Probably I had never done a formal education, obviously going to college. So obviously the first inspiration was Steve Jobs. Obviously everybody looks at him. And then I started reading books. I started experimenting, and yeah, I'm about 5-6 years down in the business.
Right.
And still not a graduate, still slowly trying to be a graduate in business.
Nice. So great. No, but you've accomplished a lot. So you were also a captain for Singapore team. How was that experience?
So being captain of Singapore was much tougher than what I think you can be a captain of an Indian team or anywhere. So at Singapore, you have to choose the coach as well. You have to coach the players as well. You have to make sure you align your tournaments so that you peak at the right time. So everything the captain has to do, because the support staff is quite less.
Right.
So it was challenging at start, but the sooner we started getting good results, it started becoming fun, more easier.
Okay.
And when I played the last game, all my students who played with me, who trained with me, were part of the same national team which I was playing.
Oh, wow. So Crick Kingdom now coaches only young students, or they cater to anyone and everyone who's interested in cricket?
So basically, we start with majority of our young students. So to talk in Singapore Academy, we have about 300 students, which are below 16 and 17. But we have started a good new interest group where the students' parents want to play cricket.
Interesting.
And they want to play in an organized way.
Right.
So we have about 80 to 100 parents or players who couldn't accomplish their dreams, who have started playing after 40 years.
Oh, interesting. So when you say parents, it's both men and women, because
Yes.
cricket is not just a gentleman's game anymore, right?
So women part is quite less in Singapore, but I think 2 days back, Singapore Cricket Association has started putting ads on buses
Oh,
for women to join training for cricket, which has been phenomenal. I mean,
so
nobody
this
has
is
done that
again
before.
any age group?
Any age group, yes.
Lovely. Wow. So you'll be training them as well, or?
So they will be going to many other places to train, obviously with the association, with us.
Right. And so Crick Kingdom is Rohit Sharma, the captain of Indian cricket team, his baby, right? How is it working with him?
So actually, when we started, obviously we had started working with MS first, but obviously he was not involved fully in the academy. So my common friend who played with me, is very good friends with Rohit.
Okay.
So it happened that one day I was talking to my friend saying that we need somebody who is involved in the day-to-day operations or giving suggestions, because we are going to use their name. And Rohit was just sitting next to him on a speaker. He said, "Call them today to Mumbai." They were
Wow.
playing Chennai next day, and we were just traveling, going home. And that night we met Rohit.
Oh, lovely. And that's how it came about.
Yeah, so we shared the dream that we want to give good facilities and we want to give good coaching to anyone and everyone who wants to have it, because good coaching or good facility was only privileged to if you are playing for a national team or you are playing for a state team. So he echoed the same thing. He said yes, he never got it when he was playing schools.
Right.
But the moment he started picking up for Indian team or under 19s or state team, he started getting good facility. So that's where we clicked.
Right. So do you play matches within Singapore? Is there like, tournaments happening within Singapore?
So coming to the Singapore part, there are about 105 countries which play cricket, which I never knew before. And the matches have been played between Asian Cricket Councils, between ICC, so that are at the national level. So what we play is we are like a feeder system to the national sides or a state sides junior programs.
Okay. So you send your team then representing Crick Kingdom.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. So tell me something. Did you ever doubt being in this profession, being a cricketer or an entrepreneur in sports?
So being a cricketer was never ever a doubt, but
Okay.
being an entrepreneur, yes, every day it's a doubt.
Okay.
So because you can manage yourselves, you can keep yourself fit, you can wake up at 4 a.m. to get somebody to do it for you. That's something you need to learn.
That is true. That is true. Right. Now tell me something. You played cricket with Tim David, who's playing IPL for Mumbai Indians. You even played briefly for Kolkata Knight Riders. Do you think more players from Singapore could join IPL?
Actually, Tim David comes majorly from Australia.
Okay.
And he happens to be born in Singapore. So if you're born in a country, it's much easier to represent the country. So he was not doing well in Australia. That's where we saw him and we said, why don't you come and play cricket for Singapore?
Right.
So the moment he started playing for Singapore, he started getting recognized more. And that's when he first got selected for Canada Premier League. Then he got selected for PCL, Pakistan Cricket League. And then he came to IPL.
Right.
So to that question, I think Singapore cricket has been played only 2 days. So it's really tough to play at IPL level at that stage. When you're training only 2 days, you need to train morning and evening every day.
So do you see that kind of passion in the cricketers here in Singapore?
There is a lot of talent in Singapore, but obviously there is lot of extracurricular activities and parents' pressure to study. Obviously, because cricket is not a profession in Singapore. Cricket is a profession in India or Australia.
Right.
So for the parents to get to do that, it's very difficult.
So why do you think parents are not doing that, especially when there is so much craze about cricket and cricketers?
So a couple of parents have moved their kids to India.
Okay.
And they are playing in the under 19s Mumbai team.
Okay.
But not all parents want to risk it, because again it's a risk whether you'll make it or you won't make it. So
Right.
they want to secure their jobs first. They want to secure their graduations first in Singapore, because if you look at the Singapore parents, they all are qualified. They have done well in their lives. So
Right.
they don't want their kids to be in trouble.
Right. They
So-
want a safe, secure job.
So by the time they are safe, they are graduates, I think the cream period or the cream time is gone.
Right. So there is a specific age for sports people, right?
So if you are below 19, that's where you get noticed fast.
Okay.
The moment you get past 26, 27, then it really becomes tough. I think there is only couple of stories which have made it through. One is Praveen Tambe, who
Right. There's a film on that as
there
well.
is a film on that.
Yeah.
The other one is Kedar Jadhav, who played
Okay.
for India as well.
Okay.
So both of them struggled a lot, because people see the success only. They don't see what is the
Right.
struggle, where do you have to stay, where the money is going to come next to sponsor that.
Right.
But I think hats off, there are very few to do that.
Right. So as I'm talking to you, this business idea is coming to my head. There are so many men I know. My husband, for one, plays cricket. Do you ever think of having tournaments within Singapore for, say, above 30, above 40 age group kind of thing?
So there are already matches going on in Singapore, and
Okay.
many people participate in that. There is a over 40 league in Singapore.
Okay.
There is a proper league which goes on for 6 divisions in Singapore.
So is it a well-known thing that these matches are happening?
Yes,
So
yes.
people can go register and play.
And they can play, yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, a little birdie told me you have won a world record. Why don't you elaborate and tell us what was that for and how did that moment feel?
So actually, I knew about the record the next day in the papers. So I never knew that it was a record. It happened in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
So we were playing qualifier, World Cup qualifier against China. And that was, I scored 100 in about 36 balls.
Okay.
So the previous 100 record was under the name of Shahid Afridi, which was done in 37 balls.
Right.
So the next day when I saw the papers, then I realized, oh, I have
You made a world
I have
record?
made a world
So
record.
cool.
And then there is one more which still stays under my name. So I'm the only cricketer who has scored 100 and taken a hat trick in the same game.
Beautiful. Congratulations. And which year was that?
That was, I think, 2011 or 12 in Malaysia.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. So there is another award that you won, right? That's Cricket Excellence Development Award by Singapore Business Awards 2024. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what was the competition like?
So basically, you have to send a nomination that what you are doing, how you are impacting people playing cricket.
Right.
So through that, I think they had some 6 months of evaluation. You have to send various documents
Okay.
to that, and then I think last week somewhere down they announced that we have won that.
Nice. Congratulations
Thank you.
again. What are your dreams and aspirations from Crick Kingdom or the cricket scene in Singapore?
So in Singapore, basically, I think Singapore is a very small island, but the thing is, businesses get developed here faster.
Right.
So what I want to see is obviously many coaches from India, many coaches from the third world country, which we say like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. They get placed or they get jobs in 105 countries which have cricket present
Right.
in them.
Right. And what message would you like to give to the aspiring generation who wants to become a cricketer, batsman, bowler, whatever?
So I think first thing I would tell them that be ready for failure, because nobody is ready for failure. So failure is something which inspires you to do better,
Right.
and success is just one day. I mean, if you talk to any good players or anything, 90% times they have failed. So they live for just that 10%.
Interesting.
And because they don't give up, they get those 10%. So
Right.
everybody has to keep doing that and looking forward to do that.
Right. So hard work, consistency, it needs a lot of determination and discipline. If you said you get up, you got up at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to work out and whatever, practice at it. So that's the kind of determination one needs.
Indeed, I mean, not just me, I mean, whoever has done well in India or in cricket. Basically, I used to leave home at 4 a.m., starting at 3 when I was in third standard, which is 8-9 years, and I did until I played for Singapore, which is almost 10-15 years
You woke up at 4 a.m. and
regularly. Now I wake up at 4 a.m. because of my son.
wow. Okay. So that's a different charm altogether. Right. So, what message would you like to give to our audiences watching this interview in terms of pursuing their passion? Not necessarily just cricket, it could be any field, right? What is required?
I think important is, like you said, consistency. But when you have done that for a long time and you are not getting results, lot of doubts you get.
Right.
So those doubts will obviously get you down. So your victory is just a day away or 2 days away. But everybody gives up reaching there. So they should continue doing it. And obviously, as it said, that to do something professionally, you need 10,000 good hours of your efforts. So if that is done, definitely result is going to be there.
And where did you get this 10,000 figures? Because I'm going to use this definitely, be it music, be it whatever. You need 10,000 hours of practice.
So
right?
I think we had our coach Trevor Chappell, who was in Singapore, who was coaching us. So he said that you have to have 10,000 perfect repetitions
Wow.
to master a skill. And if you look at it, if again coming back to Singapore, if they want to play for IPL, they are training just 4 hours in a week. So that's not going to get
not
them.
enough. So we're talking about consistency, and you said you've been getting up at 4 a.m. right from the age of 8-9 years, right? Why 4 a.m.?
Actually, 6 a.m. I had to leave for school.
Okay.
And my dad wanted me to do fitness for an hour at least.
Wow.
So I used to start at 4 a.m. and obviously he used to get me out of the house, and he used to say, if you want to sleep, sleep outside. And it used to be cold. So the only way to keep warm is by running. So, and then first 4-5 months, I got used to it, and the body clock got at 4 a.m.
Right. Interesting. And who's been the toughest bowler you faced?
So there are many bowlers I have faced, but when I was in MRF, Pace Foundation, so in Chennai, so we had there Mitchell Johnson, we had Munaf Patel, and we had one Afghani guy, Shapur Zardan.
Okay.
So all three of them were bowling at the same time, one by one. So that was probably the toughest net session I had. And in the nets, there is nobody calls a no ball. So if you hit a bowler, they might bowl a couple of yards ahead of them. So that was the toughest net session I had.
Right.
And probably in matches, if it's there, while keeping obviously Ajit Agarkar.
Okay.
In KKR, because a new fashion of cricket was developed. And we had John Buchanan as our coach.
Okay.
So he used to get all the keepers who were in KKR to stand up to the wickets on a new ball. It is like a 140-kilometer bullet coming straight to you.
Oh.
And on top of that, he used to tell the batsmen to play random shots, not cricketing shots. So that was the toughest thing I had seen.
Interesting. And I believe you're a bowler, batsman, and even do wicket keeping. So you're an all-rounder.
So bowler I became when I came to Singapore, and I realized that somebody has to bowl because there was nothing here when I came.
Okay.
So that's when I picked up bowling, and I had gone, like I said, to MRF. I had gone for bowling, but they needed batsmen to bat to the bowlers. So that's how I batted there.
And you did wicket keeping as well then?
Yes.
Fantastic. What do you enjoy the most?
Batting.
Batting?
Batting is the most enjoyable.
Oh, lovely. Great. So as a cricketer, I'm sure you've had many interesting incidents and stories. Why don't you share one anecdote with our viewers?
So we had a camp and along with Afghanistan players, and there were many other players from Asia. So Asian Cricket Council had organized that camp, and we were at one place. So I was opening with Afghani batsman, Shehzad was name, and he was batting without helmet. And we were again facing Irfan Pathan was there, who was playing against us. And the first ball he did was he swept without helmet. And I was shocked because obviously the fast bowlers are going to be fierce and they are going to bowl fast. They were
Right.
bowling with steam. So after the net sessions, I asked him that, how can you do that? Are you gone mad or what? So he just pulled up his trouser and there were bullet marks on his leg. And he said, "Isse kuch nahi hua, to what this is going to do?"
Oh my God, that's crazy because I've just been to the nets 1 or 2 times and the speed at which the ball comes from that machine, I'm like, I need everything padded, it's so crazy. So that's interesting. And then he took cricketing, playing cricket as his career.
Yeah, I mean, he played for Afghanistan. He opened for Afghanistan for the first game, and he had said they were very brave. And he was there. Mohammad Nabi, who is still playing, he was there with us. So they said, "See you guys in World Cup," and their ranking was probably 40 plus then.
Oh Lord, okay.
So they were very fierce competitors. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And these are, I'm sure, all the treasures you carry with you, that I played cricket, this happened, met this one, did this one. So do you share these stories with your students as well?
Yes, indeed. I mean, see, stories what we live for, and every tour has its story, and every tournament you have a different experience. So there are many. I mean, we'll need another 10-15 episodes.
We have a rapid fire question round. And so quickly answer these questions, okay? Tea or coffee?
Coffee,
What's your most relaxing activity to do?
playing with my son and daughter
Oh, nice. Do you like traveling?
a lot.
Which is your favorite country?
I think Japan was the most beautiful one I saw.
Okay. And what's your mantra in life?
Just stay happy and keep motivating people.
Lovely. Your favorite quote, if you can think of any?
The only limits what you set on yourself are in your mind. So nobody
Beautiful.
else can set them.
Lovely. And what's your favorite cuisine?
I think Maharashtrian.
Okay. So what is that? What
Puran Poli we have. Yeah.
Right. Talking about sports and discipline, health is such an important part of it. What kind of nutrition is required for cricketers and trainees and everyone?
I think it should be a balanced nutrition. I mean, everybody says protein, only protein, or everybody says sometimes carb is not bad. But it
Right.
has to be balanced, and obviously everything you need in good limits. So if you have that, you are good. But definitely nutrition is a very important aspect of sports.
Nice. Since we're talking about nutrition, we have a hamper for you from Vatan Se. And I think they're the only company who have low-fat paneer, which is very high in protein. They also have sliced paneer, which you can make fresh sandwiches with. I've been doing that. Instead of putting a cheese slice, put a paneer slice.
Oh, wow.
And it's yum and nice. And then there is some cold pressed oil in it as well. So I hope you enjoy that. I know you're a patron of Vatan Se and you use their products.
Indeed, I think today only I wanted to buy it, so now I'm getting an hamper.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right?
Thank you so much for coming over. It was such a pleasure having a conversation with you. Viewers, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dreamcatcher's YouTube channel, and all social media platforms. And we'll keep bringing such inspiring stories to you. Please let us know in the comments section what inspired you about today's episode and who else would you like to see on that couch. You are a cricketer or a cricket enthusiast watching cricket? Please leave us some tips. Thank you and stay tuned. And it's high in protein, and they also have low fat. Okay, slices bhi nobody else is doing, right? So has that been broken yet, or?
Yeah. Chris Gayle has done it in 34 balls, and then there
Right.
is some guy from Netherlands. He has done it in 33 or 32 balls.
Right, but you were a world record holder.